klagen, 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 klagen. Oh, stop, hou op, het is genoeg. Zo begin ik deze zomerspecial, aflevering 67 van Het Compliment. Dankjewel dat je luistert, fijn dat je erbij bent. Het is een zomerspecial, want ik ben op de fiets door Europa aan het trekken. Ik ben op dit moment in Tsjechië en ik heb het al aangekondigd. De komende weken gaat Het Compliment er iets anders uitzien. Ik ga langs bij mensen, dat zijn allerlei willekeurige mensen. En die ga ik vragen naar het grootste compliment dat zij ooit gekregen hebben. En daar gaan we het dan even over hebben. En op dit moment zit ik in Tsjechië aan een tafel met Frantisek. And now I'm going to switch to English also. So I expect you as a listener that you speak English. I have a very high expectations of my listening crowd. And Frantisek is on a forum. It's called warmshowers.org. It's like a cycling forum. It's a little bit like couch surfing, but then only for cyclists. You can ask anyone who is available, like, hey, can I stay for the night? And they have a garden, or they have a separate room, or like a couch or whatever. And if they are available and they want you to come, then they welcome you with a lot of hospitality. I had a lot of amazing experiences already, and this one is very bad. No, I'm kidding, Frantisek. No, this one is amazing already too. And welcome in the podcast, Frantisek.
Hi, welcome everyone. Sorry, I don't speak Dutch.
No, it's totally fine. You are the first Czechian person in this podcast, which is an honor.
It's a great privilege.
That's what I mean. How I was just explaining, like I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the biggest compliment you've ever received. What is the biggest compliment you've ever received?
So there are a lot of I have received a lot of compliments in my life, but the one that stands out, especially recently, is from a girl I hosted through couchsurfing. Actually, not a long time ago. She was from Taiwan, and we were speaking in Chinese, like for most of her stay at my place, which was only for a day. But like in the feedback she has written for me, then she said that Frantisek's Chinese is impressive, and that really like warmed my heart when when I read that. And so that was very nice. Like, even though I have studied in China for some 2 years, and but I've been back for 3 years now, and I haven't spoken much like since I came back. So that was really nice.
Ah, nice. Okay. What did she write also the compliment in Chinese or not?
No. That was in English.
Okay. Can you like translate? Can you say the compliment what she said in Chinese, or is that very hard?
你可以说他的中文很好。
Okay, I didn't know what you said, but it sounds Chinese. Yeah. Okay, so you hosted a girl here through Warm Showers, and she was impressed by the Chinese. And now you mentioned China. You have also cycled like through China, right?
Yes. I cycled pretty much all the way from Prague to Beijing.
Yeah. In 3 stages. We just discussed that like before, and that's an amazing journey. How was it like to cycle in China? Because you crossed like Kazakhstan, you crossed Turkey, Georgia, Armenia, Iran, and a lot of European countries. What was it like to cycle in China?
Yeah, well, China is just a like world in itself. It's completely different like than what we are used to here in Europe, and it can be very challenging, like to enjoy being in that place because like everything is so foreign and difficult and hard to understand. Like you really have to rely a lot on people's goodwill and like people being able to help you. Because like when I was cycling there and traveling, I spoke no Chinese at all. So I like cycled to Beijing and then I stayed there for 2 years and studied then. So like when I was like traveling through China afterwards, it was completely different experience. Like if you are able to like talk to people and relate to them a bit, like you just see like the change, how they open to you and how many doors it like opens. It even allows you to see, like if you don't speak Chinese, the language, you just like don't see most of like what's happening around you.
Yeah, because no one speaks English, or hardly anyone.
Yeah. Well, there are of course like people who are educated to some degree and speak English, but it's a huge country, and in most places, especially like the smaller places, it's very difficult to communicate with in English.
Yeah. This podcast is a little bit about. No, it's not a little bit about. It's really about like positivity and. I want to give people who listen to it also a little bit of a warm and positive feeling. Like you are on warm showers and couch surfing. I just learned that like I can imagine that when you are on such platforms, you have a welcoming and hospitable heart. What do you think about positivity in general and the podcast idea?
Yeah, well, I very much share the sentiment that like it's important to look at the bright side of life, right? And someone like once told me in Iran that like doing good deeds is like putting water into the river. Like you don't do it like for yourself. You are doing it because of the river, and you don't want the river like to run dry. Well, and it's like easy like to see how it multiplies, and like how the water that you pour into the river then like nourishes something down the stream. So like I have received so much hospitality like in my life, especially like during this travel by bike, that like it's very easy for me to be hospitable and like to give back, and it like changed my character a lot in many ways, and for the better. So so I think that's like basically the like the most important part of human nature is like to do good to others, and if we do that, like only good things happen to you and to everyone around you. So I think there's like nothing better to do.
Yeah. Like why do you think it's the most important thing of human nature?
Well, I think that like life in general is a like collaborative process, and and we are kind of looking at it the wrong way sometimes in our Western civilization, like when we focus so much like on the individual and like competitional aspect of life, and like we don't see the bigger picture and the kind of like whole and the purpose of like life in the universe. And I think that like goes like everything is connected to that, like and like I just like think there is nothing like better to do than to contribute to like humanity's like shared good karma. Well, it's like difficult. It will be a like longer argument to make, but basically this is it.
Yeah. I understand what you mean, and it's well explained actually. I believe that too, that everything is connected, and well, maybe like good karma and bad karma, I don't know if that exists, but at least if you do something good for someone, like I like the saying, pouring water, helping someone is pouring water into the river so that the river at least doesn't dry. Now I'm going to switch to Dutch, but thank you very much, Frantisek, to cooperate in this podcast. Het is een andere vorm van Het Compliment. And also, by the way, like a big compliment to you and this beautiful land site where we are on, because your dad bought it, right? And he renovated the place a little bit, and yeah, that's right? Yeah.
Yes. Like, my father bought it some 6 years ago and has been renovating it since. Like, too bad your listeners can see. It's like very tranquil and beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Ik zal het een beetje omschrijven. Er staan hier een paar hele kleine soort tiny houses met waar mensen ook in kunnen slapen. Het is vooral voor vrienden en familie op dit moment. Er is een groot grasveld. Er ligt nog een rivier waar wat bootjes in drijven. Er is een kantoor waar Frantisek af en toe op afstand werkt. Hij woont een groot deel van de tijd ook in Praag. En er is hier een grote keuken. En ik mag hier vannacht in die keuken, daar staat ook een bed, in een bed slapen. Dat is heel fijn, want ik lig ook een groot deel van de tijd in een tent. Maar dit is een beetje het compliment de komende weken. Dus ik ga met random passanten in gesprek over een groot compliment dat zij ooit ontvangen hebben. Dankjewel voor het luisteren. Dit was aflevering, welke is het inmiddels? 67, jazeker. Het is allemaal in 1 take opgenomen. Ik heb allemaal niet super ingewikkelde montageapparatuur bij me. Dus het wordt allemaal niet. Het klinkt allemaal waarschijnlijk iets minder dan je gewend bent. Maar ik sluit wel af met, als ik iets geleerd heb, deze aflevering, dan is het wel dat je water in de rivier moet blijven doen, want anders droogt die op.